think it's hitting on all four. Sounds a lot better. Well, everybody, thank you for joining me another week. I'm actually out here in the barn because we're going to be working on the TD-6, and since it's got tracks rather than tires, can't really pull it into the shop really easily. So we're going to be working out here in the barn. It's a little bit windy, and with all of the metal roof around us and everything, hopefully it's not too noisy with background sounds and things like that. But, you know, I can't complain. At least I have a roof over my head, so it should go pretty well. Here's what we're going to be working on. In the last video, we were successful in getting the TD-6 running, so huge win there. But we also discovered that cylinder number 4 back here didn't seem to be firing in diesel mode. I appreciate everybody's feedback because some people left some really good comments talking about similar issues that they had on their, you know, TD-6 tractors or MDs, you know, basically the same engine. So thank you so much for everybody who let me know what they believe the problem is. And based off of that feedback, it seems like the most likely culprit is the compression release valve back here, and for the cylinder number 4 is possibly stuck open. So we're going to pop off the valve cover, take off the valve train, the rocker cover, and we are going to access that little valve down there, the decompression valve. One thing is, since we're working out here in the barn rather than in the shop like we normally are, all of the tools, I've got to bring them out here so that we can use them out here. So probably make about a dozen trips between here and the shop today, but that's okay. That's what I need right there. One thing we've had to be really careful about is keeping this red tractor surrounded by green tractors, just to make sure that it doesn't go out and try to find more red friends, because that's the last thing we need. No, but in all seriousness, we do have the R sitting right here in front of us, so that should be pretty convenient. If we do, after we put this thing back together today, I guess that's what we'll be using to pull us out and around, because we have to move it anyway. So we'll still get a little bit of John Deere action here in this video dedicated to a red tractor. Oh boy. Okay, let me show you this. It's kind of dark, but I got my light on, so hopefully you can see. Now you can see that there is rust around this back area on the under the valve cover. So I'm not positive which, oh, that's just a little bit of silicone. I'm not positive which of the 4 cylinders was stuck. However, when we took the spark plugs out over on this other side, when we took these spark plugs out, it was number 4 that was the rusty one. And so it's possible that this, you can see right there, there's even rust on that spring, maybe. I don't know if you can see that or not. But right here, I tried to point, I believe under this little cup right here is where that decompression lever is, or the decompression valve is. So we'll check this one out. Oh, see, look. Look, I can already see, look. The height of this one. Can you see that? The height of that cup right there. It's sticking up higher than this one. So that means that this one might be stuck down. Huh. I think we may have just found the problem. Yes, I believe that is the problem, because look, it's going to be really hard for you to see because we're looking through the valve train and everything. But this arm right here, this is the lever that runs the decompression valves. And right now, I've got this lever pushed forward so it's in diesel mode. So, for example, on this one right here, this is the number 2 cylinder, you can see that the valve, the rocker arm for that decompression release is up, and this cup is also up. But back here, there's a gap between the two. I don't know if you can see that. I can, but that's our problem. Hopefully. Let's get this thing popped off and see if we can get that valve unstuck. Let's see how difficult these are to remove. Oh, not too bad. Oh boy, this one's tight. Got it. Got that one. The last one is this one that's pretty rusty. Hopefully it comes undone okay. Yep, not bad. Okay, there's 10 nuts holding this valve train, or the rocker arm assembly, in place. That's the last of them. I did drop one, and it fell down right here, but it's kind of stuck by it's right here. It's kind of by a push rod, so I really don't want that to go down into the engine. That's what I'm talking about right there. You see that nut? Gotta go get a magnet. Got it. There it goes. Maybe I don't need a hammer. There we go. What does that sound? Oh boy. Well, that was just that link falling. Okay, got it. Oh, you can see that little link is safety tied in place. Can you see that right here? So that just kind of stays right there. Okay, let's go set this someplace safe. Okay, hopefully now, there's a little bit of debris, probably from having this valve cover open out here in the barn. Anyway, you can see, hopefully now, this, and this. Those are the 4 cups, and if we take these off, I'll take this one off first, that house the decompression valves. So that's number, set that over here. That's number, how should I do this? 1. I don't think it matters where I have them. 2. 3, and grab my magnet. 4. I don't know how easy you can see now, but number 4 is depressed rather slightly. That's the issue. Okay, now set this over here, number 4. Now, I've got a little hammer here and some WD-40, and we're just going to work at this. Spray that down nice and good. Oh, that just all ran out there, contaminating my oil. But got my little hammer here, and I'm just going to start tapping away at this and make sure that I can get this thing moving freely. Okay, I've been performing CPR on this valve for a couple of minutes now, and it moves up and down freely, and I have full range of motion, and it sounds just like the other ones when I move it. So I can bottom it out all the way, and it comes all the way up. See, I click it down, bottomed out on the spring, and then it bottoms out on the valve seat. So assuming we have a good seal at the valve seat, this should be working now. So we got everything tightened down now. I had to call in the JV squad to come and help me. I don't think he heard me. But we had to, he helped me, my dad helped me line up all of the push rods with the ends of the rocker arms. And yeah, went together really well. The hardest thing, it took me forever, was to get this decompression little push rod in place. But now tighten everything down, torque it to spec, which is tight.
As hard as we can pull.
It actually, they weren't that tight when I took them off, but yeah, just tighten them down with a 3/8 inch ratchet. Yeah, pretty much as hard as you can pull. Okay, I just took a minute and I threw some grease back here on the steering clutches under there. I greased these two big bearings right here. Looks like that's for the axle. I greased this. We've got a grease tube sticking up there. I greased that, and I greased the front idler. But then on this other side, came around here, there's no grease zerk, and it looks like maybe there's a small little plug right there. So we'll have to figure out how to grease this one. And then also up here, there's no grease zerk on this front idler, just this big kind of button head looking nut. Don't know what that's about, but maybe it's on the inside, I don't know. Don't really see anything on this side either. Anyway, we'll have to figure out how to get grease in this. I'll read the manual. It should tell me how to do all that maintenance. But for now, all of the fittings that I did put grease in, they all took grease really nicely and easily, so hopefully everything's good there. Now, we're getting ready to start this. I turned the diesel fuel on. We're going to start up the R. My dad's just checking the oil on that. And then we'll pull start it with the R. So this will actually be kind of fun, because here, when we start the R, you're going to get to see a diesel engine, an old 50s. This is a 1950, I think, 50 or 51. But you'll get to see an old John Deere diesel start with a pony motor. And then you'll get to see how International did it with the combo gasoline diesel gasoline engine that starts on gas and switches over to diesel. So you'll get to see both flavors here.
So you don't need to mess with the handles to start it, do you?
Nope. Started up pretty good. It's probably about 50 degrees, so it's not super cold. But they don't have a battery, so we're just doing the jump pack. But 35 psi. I'll go get a change.
Running over my chain.
Okay, now let's try this. Let's give it some gas. Pulling the crawler is not easy. Diesel mode. We might need to try gas mode. Oh, it's hitting. Starting it is hard when it starts going over that chain. I almost took out your post over there. I think it's hitting on all fours. Sounds a lot better. Hot back here. Yeah, that's getting warm. We're hitting. hitting on that one. What? Yeah, let's drive it all afternoon. Yeah, I think that's for sure hitting on number 4. Sounds a lot smoother. Still got to get that one brake. It's still a little bit sticky or stuck. On the back here. I'm right behind you. Sounds like it's on all 4. Yeah? Yeah, I know. We'll have to work at that. Yeah. What year was that?
valve before you do, so that if it dies, we can pull start it. What? Yeah. So to get it to run on gas, I'll turn the gas on. Then you will basically, is it neutral? Put it in neutral. Then basically pull this back and this back at the same time. Pulling that back will kill the diesel, and then it will also start the gasoline ignition. Pull them back at the same time hard, or all the way, not necessarily hard. What did we do wrong? What did we do wrong? Should have started.
Let's try and start it on
Gas.
gas.
Okay. So one thing that I got a lot of comments about on the last video is just that this lever should stay back. When you pull it back, it should toggle back and it should stay back here by itself, and we shouldn't need this piece of wood. The reason we need that piece of wood is because, I've mentioned this before, but this engine is off of a Farmall MD, and the Farmall MD would connect right here. The previous owner adapted this to fit here so that then we can use the same decompression lever, and so he welded this arm on right here. And so no matter, I've messed around with it a little bit this morning, no matter what I do here with the length of this, it doesn't really want to stay, this handle doesn't really want to stay all the way back like this unless you've got this piece of wood right here. So we might just have to deal with that until I can get a replacement, one of these arms right here. If you know anybody that has one, put them in contact with me. Okay, we're gonna try to start it in gas mode. Probably should have done this to begin with, but that was easy. It started right up. Yeah, this is gas. What?
Let's see if we can start it on diesel.
Yeah. Yeah, it only supposed to run like 1200 RPM, I think. You want me to do it, or do you want? Oh, hold this.
We're going to start this on diesel from gas to diesel.
That wasn't all the way off. Now it's all the way off. find something to put on that so that then we don't have to use that board.
Well, I'm going to call that success. What's next for the crawler? The brake. I think that's the next big thing that we got to take care of. That left turning brake is stuck, so we got to take that off. There's a couple of panels on the bottom side. In fact, I'll show them to you. Let's look under here. You can see there's a cover right there, and also one on that side. I think if we take those off, we'll look up inside there and see if we have access to the brakes. You can see the turning clutches right there. So that's hot. Oh, that one's kind of warm. Oh, look, there's a grease zerk right there. Yeah, so we're gonna have to do a lot of maintenance on this. Change all the filters and let's see. Get that brake unstuck. Oh, we got to put the starter back on. Hopefully that's going to be done soon. We're waiting on brushes. So once we get those brushes, we get the starting motor back, throw the starting motor on, then we should be able to just start it, right with the push of a button. We do need to loosen the tension on the tracks. Let me turn my light off and zoom out. We do need to adjust the tension on the tracks. So that's going to be a big job. Here messing around with the tensioner right here to bring that front idler back, because right now these tracks on both the left and the right side are both really tight. So loosen those up, get those within spec. Like I say, with the servicing, go through and read through the manual and basically find all of the grease points, grease all of those, and then I'd like to drive it a little bit, take it out for a little bit longer voyage. I kind of wanted to do that today, and I was kind of planning on doing that, but as I was driving it out in the field behind me, I just started to worry about the heat, this brake, if it is stuck on. I don't want to dump a bunch of heat, into that brake system and then wear things out. So that's why we came back here and parked it, and we'll take care of that stuff and get it all proper before we go out and start using it. I don't want to damage something. So anyway, this is a fun day. It actually didn't take too long, a couple of hours, and I had that taken care of and fixed, and we got to spend a little bit of time driving it. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next week with another video.